Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a beautiful day, week, or weekend. If you're not, have faith because things always get better. I want to start off by saying sorry this video is actually going up on September 1st. I usually try to make these videos go up before the new month begins, but I'm stupid and I looked at my calendar wrong, so I failed. So it's okay because this video is going up earlier than usual on Tuesday, so hopefully that helps if anybody wants to retry or redo this theme. But I asked on my Instagram story what I should have my September theme to be, and a lot of people said like fall, leaves, and I decided I would do that. And I've been really into like sceneries and perspectives and buildings and everything like that, so I decided on a nice little view of a sidewalk in the city of New York. I'm guessing I picture this to be New York in the fall, but I've been really into drawing these types of like buildings and perspectives, and since I am studying to become an engineer, it is pretty helpful to learn how to draw the different point of views, the different angles, so this was really fun to do. But it was obviously so freaking hard. I was having the hardest time drawing the stairs, and you guys can obviously see where some things are deformed, but you know, practice makes perfect, so I'm still working on it. But yeah, it was really fun to do and I'm still learning every single day. But I sketched it, and then I went in with a fine liner, and then now I'm going in with my watercolors. And when I'm doing this, I'm kind of just doing everything randomly because I'm not the best watercolor. I kind of just throw colors down and see where it goes, and that's how mostly I do everything in life. But I'm still learning how to do watercolors. I feel like the whole technique is just knowing where the shadows and the highlights are, so I really tried to keep that in mind when I was watercoloring. And I also tried to be more patient in letting my layers dry before stacking more colors on top. So that's really what I think elevated this piece compared to all the other watercoloring pieces that I've done. And now this is my finished product, and I'm going to satisfyingly peel the washi tape off, and this is what I'm going to get. And I'm also not doing this in my bullet journal. I did it in a watercolor sketchbook. It's by Arteza, and I'm going to cut it out with my X-Acto knife, and I'm going to put it into my bullet journal. And I didn't want to put the entire page, so I cut a border around the picture and then I pasted it. But right when I cut it and I pasted it, or like I examined it on the page, I knew it kind of looked weird, but I just kept going with it anyways. But you guys will see that I actually trimmed the border down even more than how it is right now. It looked off, and I could tell it looked off, but I just didn't know what it was. But then once I realized that the border was too big for my liking, I didn't think about it, I just did it. And I feel like that's another thing that I like to do when bullet journaling. When I see that something doesn't look right, I don't even give myself a second to think like, oh, should I cut it? It might turn out bad. I just do it, and if it turns out bad, then I gotta start over, and that's kind of how it works in my mind. So I just quickly ripped it off, and then I chopped off the borders, and it turned out very well compared to the border before, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. So I cut a thin border, and then I went ahead and I pasted that sucker on, and then I added the month of September. And I wanted to make it look like it was a signature on the bottom of a painting, and I could have done this a little bit better, but you can see that I'm just going over the word several times so I can get the look that I want, and this is how it turned out. And now moving on to my calendar, I decided to do a whole half page instead of a half of one page. I believe the dimensions of the boxes are like 5 by 5-ish, a little more, give or take. But then I'm going to take my watercolors and I'm going to add all the details into my calendar. And you don't have to use watercolors, you can obviously use markers as well. And I'm going to add some washi tape, and it's crazy how much washi tape can elevate your bullet journal pages. It gives it a more, like, I always say this, but scrapbooky vibe that I really like. And then I added these cute little orange stickers. Even though orange doesn't really fit in with the fall theme, I still added them because they are orange. And if you guys didn't see where I got this washi tape, go check out my $15 Daiso challenge, because I did a whole spread with using just Daiso products. Now I'm going to be moving on to my scribbles page. So obviously I went on Pinterest to like look up fall inspiration, and I saw this cute little doodle of a truck that's carrying pumpkins. So I saved it and I looked at it for like 10 seconds before I started working on it, and I didn't look at it again. So I feel like that's pretty helpful in me growing out of looking at Pinterest, just looking at it for 10 seconds and then memorizing what it was and then doing my own rendition of it, trying to remember what it was. And it did turn out a lot different than the photo that I saw, but it still turned out unique in its own way. So that's a way you can still use Pinterest but make it your own. So then I also added the word scribbles going around the border of the truck, and this is how it turned out. And I also added little leaves that were flying off like the back of the truck, but you guys will see that at the end of the video when I do the flip through. And then of course I added some more washi tape to balance both sides of the pages. Then moving on to my expense tracker, I did a little coffee mug because fall, coffee, warmness. And then I added some more details, and I didn't really like how this looked out. It kind of looked too stiff. I kind of just went like this. And then it looked a lot better. And then I added more details, more highlights, more shadows, and then I added my little wiggly squiggly border, and then I went in with some watercolor and added the lines. And I didn't add like the typical date, amount, and reason that I usually do for my expense tracker because I felt like that would ruin the whole look, so I'll just add that in when I fill it out. And then I added the title expense tracker like it was coming out of the mug. And then here is my quote page. I decided to do a bunch of pumpkins around the page, and at first it looked like oranges, but then once you get the details it looks fine. And I did some outlines, I did the vines and the leaves and the stems, and then I went ahead and I wrote the words hello fall, because fall is my favorite season of all 4 seasons because it's just warm and happy and cozy, and I love fall more than any other season. And here I'm going to be doing my weekly spread. I'm doing something a little bit different because lately I haven't really been using my weekly spreads, and I don't want to waste paper because some of my weekly spreads are completely empty. So I decided I'd just do a template, and whenever I had busier days I would just fill in the date and the day of the week, and then I would fill it out. So what I'm doing is I'm making these just half blocks because if I'm going to be really busy I'm going to need a lot of space. And then I added some watercolors, some pumpkins, some washi tape, and then some more of the like stippling dots, and this is what I got. And here is the flip through. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, turn on your post notifications, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.